Hello everyone. Let us understand the meaning of the term typing in microbiology. In simplest words, typing means classification of microorganisms. Now, broadly, there are two methods of typing, the phenotypic methods and the genotypic methods. Genotypic methods are the ones which analyze the kind of genes present on the chromosome and the plasmids of microorganisms, whether the genes are, certain specific genes are present or absent in a particular microorganism, whether the genes are homologous or not, and similar other attributes of the genes. Now, genotypic methods are way more complicated to do and interpret the results, and they're very costly also, hence they're not used for routine diagnostic purpose. The commonly used method is the phenotypic method of typing or classifying microorganism, right? Phenotypic method is the one which assesses certain physical or observable characteristics of microorganisms like shape, size, results of biochemical reactions, susceptibility or resistance to certain antibiotics or certain viruses, right? And a very important or common kind of phenotypic method is serotyping. Now, if we dissect this word serotyping, what do we understand from this? Typing means classification and sero means surface. So, serotyping is a kind of a phenotypic method of classifying microorganisms based on the differences in the surface structures decorated on the surface of microbes like certain membrane proteins, lipopolysaccharide, capsular polysaccharide, flagellae, fimbriae, etc. Now, I'll take the classical example of Vibrio cholerae, which causes cholera. Now, Vibrio cholerae has been classified into 200 serotypes, also known as serogroups or serovars, and this classification is based on the O antigen or the somatic antigen. We all know that O antigen or somatic antigen is the outermost region of the lipopolysaccharide or the endotoxin, which is present in the outer membrane of gram-negative organisms. So, in case of Vibrio cholerae, which causes cholera, the structure of O antigen was found to be, different in different strains of Vibrio cholerae, and based on, this difference, we classified Vibrio cholerae into Vibrio cholerae O1, O2, like that, till Vibrio cholerae O200. Now, out of all these serotypes, by far the most important cause of cholera is Vibrio cholerae O1. So, Vibrio cholerae O1 became the subject of interest and it was further studied or analyzed. And we found that Vibrio cholerae O1 serotype can further be classified into two kinds of biotypes called as classical and LTOR. Now, biotyping is what? Biotyping is another example of a phenotypic method of classifying microorganisms, which means typing or classification based on certain biochemical reactions and certain biological properties. For example, we have got two biotypes of Vibrio cholerae O1, the classical and the LTOR. Now, remember, classical biotype is the one which causes the classical disease cholera, an acute diarrheal illness, right? Whereas LTOR biotype is the one which is going to cause milder disease. So, classical is going to cause classical disease, whereas LTOR will cause milder disease. In case of classical biotype, the secondary attack rate is higher, whereas in LTOR, the secondary attack rate is lower, right? So, classical, because it causes severe disease, there are less chances of development of carrier state. LTOR, on the other hand, is going to cause milder disease. Therefore, when the infection is, caught by some normal person from an LTOR patient, if the immunity is very good, it's likely that the person may not manifest the disease. In other words, the development of carrier state is way more common in case of LTOR biotype. Now, these two biotypes have been classified based on what biological properties and what biochemical reactions. This is very, very important. Remember HAVC, HAVC, H for hemolysis of sheep RBCs, A for agglutination of chicken RBCs, V is VP test or Vokes-Prosker reaction, and C is CAM test, that is Christie-Atkins-Munch-Peterson reaction. It's a kind of, it's a test for demonstrating synergistic hemolysis, right? Now, all these four tests are negative in case of the classical biotype, whereas they are positive in case of the LTOR biotype. Then there are three more important points of difference between classical and LTOR, which are susceptibility to the antibiotic polymyxin B. Remember, classical biotype is susceptible to polymyxin B, meaning that its growth in the lab on the culture media is going to be inhibited by polymyxin B, whereas LTOR's growth is not going to be inhibited, so it is said to be resistant to this particular drug, right? Similarly, there are certain phages, also known as bacteriophages, which are nothing but the viruses which are going to attack bacteria, and we have named these phages by allotting them numbers like group 1, 2, 3 and all. And we have found that group 4 and group 5 phages attack differently on classical and LTOR biotypes. Now, group 4 phage attacks the classical biotype but does not attack the LTOR biotype. On the other hand, group 5 phage does not attack the classical biotype, so classical biotype is said to be resistant to group 5. On the other hand, group 5 is going to attack LTOR biotype, okay? So, the ones which I've highlighted in yellow, HAVC, are positive in case of LTOR, and the last three features, P, 4 and 5, P for polymyxin B, 4 for group 4 phage susceptibility, and 5 means group 5 phage susceptibility. Remember it like this, SSR in the left column and RRS in the right column. Okay, so classical and LTOR I have written alphabetically, and I hope this is easy to memorize in this way. Now, classical and LTOR were the two biotypes which were discovered. They were given even more attention and they were further studied, and it was discovered that each of these biotypes can further be classified or categorized into 3 serotypes each based on minor differences in the O antigen. So we have got 3 serotypes of the classical biotype, namely Ogawa, Inaba, Hikojima, and LTOR also has got the same 3 serotypes. Thankfully the names are the same, Ogawa, Inaba and Hikojima. Now, by far overall, the most common serotype of Vibrio cholerae which causes cholera is O1 LTOR Ogawa. Now, remember CEO means Chief Executive Officer. In place of C, just remember OEO. So instead of CEO, recall OEO. The first O refers to the somatic antigen, right? O antigen or the somatic antigen. I told you it's of 200 types in Vibrio cholerae, out of which one is number 1 in causing cholera. Okay, so the first O is O1. Okay, O1 was further classified into the classical and the LTOR biotypes. So E stands for LTOR, and LTOR further has been classified into the 3 serotypes, namely Ogawa, Inaba and Hikojima, of which the commonest one is Ogawa. So it goes like this: O1 LTOR Ogawa is the most common serotype of Vibrio cholerae, which is the main culprit of cholera, right? So this is one example of classifying microorganisms, that is serotyping, which in turn is a kind of phenotypic method. Now, yet another very important example of serotyping is the Griffith typing. We all know by far the most pathogenic species of the genus Streptococcus is Streptococcus pyogenes. Strepto means strips or chains, so it's a gram-positive coccus arranged in chains. Pyogenes means, pyo means pus and genes means to produce. So it's a cause of pyogenic or suppurative infection, right? Spreading suppurative infection. Now, I have drawn schematic representation of 2 organisms. Both are Streptococcus pyogenes. So both are belonging to the same genus, that is Streptococcus, and the same species, that is pyogenes, but still they are different from each other because they are decorating or flaunting on their surfaces different kinds of M proteins. So M protein is an example of a surface protein which is exhibited on the surface of Streptococcus pyogenes, right? And this M protein till date has been found to be of 100 types, okay? So suppose there are 100 people, each of them is Streptococcus pyogenes, and those 100 people are wearing different colored hats. So each color is going to be representative of each unique type of M protein, okay? For example, over here I have drawn 2 serotypes based on the differences in the structure of the M protein. The first one has got the triangular kind of M protein, M1, and the second organism has got circular M protein, which I have written as M2. Similarly, there are M3, M4. Like this, there are 100 M types, and this is known as Griffith typing. So basically, this is an example of classifying the microorganisms below the level of the species. Now, Yet another important phenotypic method is the phage typing. Phages, also known as bacteriophages, are the viruses which are going to attack bacteria. So in phage typing, we want to find out whether a particular kind of bacterium is susceptible to attack by certain kind of bacteriophages or not. Okay. For this purpose, we first, we first set up a lawn culture of the bacterium which we want to test, right? Like this. And after that, we take the set of phages which we want to test on this particular bacterium. Okay. So in this picture, you can see phage A, B, C, and D. Okay, so these phages are inoculated on, on these specific designated areas on this plate, and we find that in this particular picture, the phage A is the one which is the villain or the culprit over here, because it is going to attack the bacterium, leading on to the formation of visible lesions called as plaque. Okay, so our conclusion is going to be that this particular microorganism, this particular bacterium, is susceptible to only phage A and is resistant to phages B, C, and D. Okay. Now this is a pictorial representation of the, of actually how the plaques look like. Now different bacteriophages or phages have been given, names by allotting them different numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on and so forth. So in this particular case, as we can see, this particular bacterium is susceptible to attack by phage numbers 52, 52A, and 80. So the name of this particular bacterial isolate is going to be phage type 52, 52A, and 80. Okay. A classical example of an organism for which phage typing is done is Staphylococcus aureus, and by far the most virulent phage of Staph aureus is phage type 8081, and it is also known as the epidemic strain of Staph aureus. Okay. So this is about an overview of the phenotypic methods of classifying microorganisms. Thank you.